Let's do this. Can you talk really quick, by the way?
Check 1 2 testing test.
All right. I think right there we're going to be about the same volume when we talk.
Okay, cool.
All right. What's up, guys? We are live. I believe it says starting. It says starting, but it's still not popped up. It's giving me the loading circle. What's up, guys? It is Nicholas, aka the Newt Ninja, and Chad Morton back again.
Yo.
And we are, hopefully, we are live. Okay, cool. All right, so for once, I don't know if you noticed the title. It is all of the E3 goodness. I'm still in gaming for some reason. That's nice. So let me. It's so much failure. Why? It's so much failure. Okay, let's go to the topics. Okay. Well, first off, let me ask you this: did you have anything happen this week that you would like to point out that you felt was noteworthy?
I think the Call of Duty stuff was pretty noteworthy.
See, and I know you're a big Call of Duty fan. Like I've told you before, like I'm Call of Duty is not my thing anymore.
Yeah,
So
I get that. This is their last one for me, probably.
I think it's their last one for them. Honestly, at this point, I
Yeah.
think they've decided if they fuck this one, they're pretty sure they're
Yeah.
done after this. So,
I'm not-
you actually watched the multiplayer trailer though. So why don't you talk a second about that really quick?
Well, the multiplayer trailer looked pretty good. It looks like they're gonna have some, the score streaks and stuff that they
Yep.
used to have.
Yep.
It used to be kill streaks, which I like. Now it's score streaks.
Yep.
So that's back. And
Score
they're gonna
streaks.
have-
Wait, score streaks or kill
Yeah,
streaks?
score streaks. are
Okay,
back, score
okay.
streaks. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of those because
Eh.
people can play. Yeah, it doesn't matter really.
Do
But
you
it's looking pretty good.
do you think that the 4K version of it on the Xbox One X will be so amazing? Are you excited for that, Chad? I'm going out to buy an Xbox One actually as soon as they come out. I've actually pre-ordered 3 of them, so I'm selling my PC and I'm going just Xbox. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't need a PC anymore. I can do 4K for $499.
I don't
Well-
think it's gonna be up to par with
Well-
what they think.
Well, first off, I want to say, and I actually talked to the wife about this a while ago. So, Xbox One Scorpio, they came out with the Xbox One S, okay? When they came out with, next up is the Xbox One Scorpio, I was like, okay, how is that going to work? Because they've got the Xbox One S, and everyone likes to, like, cut the names down and all that stuff. So, they're not, I told her, I was like, they're going to change the name. I was like, they can't possibly have 2 consoles that have the S after them. It is now the Xbox One X. I don't quite know how I feel about it, especially after figuring out that the retail price for the Xbox One X at launch is going to be $499. I'm sure you heard all about the awesome 4K gameplay and how it's going to be as powerful as a 1070 and all this other stuff. Well, first off, I want to say, as a 1070 owner, 1070 is not 4K. Maybe in some games 4K 30. Yeah, exactly. 4K 30 maybe. But it's like you can't, for that price point. And I talked to my brother about it. My brother knows very little about computers. Well, he knows a good amount about computers, but not hardware wise. And even he thought that the $500 price tag. I mean, a GPU that can do 4K is about $450, $500. I mean, it you just can't. And yes, I'm sure it's going to be 4K 30, but there's going to be some weirdness around it. It's not going to be, it's 4K unless suddenly the frame rate drops and then it drops it back to 1080p or lower, whatever I guess they decide. I can almost guarantee you that because I don't know if you remember. I believe it was the PlayStation 4 Pro actually had like dynamic resolution where as you were moving around and like more GPU intensive areas, suddenly the resolution would lower. So it wasn't always true 4K. It was like 1080p upsampled unless stuff got really hectic and then it dropped down to wherever it could get it. So
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about it. Consoles, for one, they don't have the room to fit all that stuff they need in there to make them, 4K.
Well, when
I
I
mean,
first
their heat sinks are ridiculous. They're
Yep.
just a little bitty 70 millimeter fan or something.
when I first heard about the Xbox One Scorpio, the price that I heard was closer to $800. At $800, I was thinking, okay, 4K 30 FPS, that's doable. Like that might actually be something that is capable for them to get. I've got to pull up the dashboard. I don't even have it open. But I was like, that is definitely something they could probably achieve. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But the problem with that is now it's $500, and I'm just wondering how they can possibly get that kind of performance out of that kind of, like, unless they're selling it for a huge loss. That's another thing I told my brother is unless they are selling it for just pretty much the biggest loss of any console, which they've been known to do. I believe it
I
was.
haven't even.
I believe it was the Xbox 360. They actually sold for I think it was like $50 a pop loss, just because they were counting on you buying first party titles to kind of recoup that loss. So I don't know. It's just kind of weird that they are. Yeah.
That is strange. I'm looking up the specs on it right now because I haven't really, I know I'm not going to buy an Xbox One, so I haven't really gotten deep into it.
No, and I'm not going to buy one either. I did say I wasn't going to buy. Well, okay, let me rephrase that. I said I wasn't going to buy an Xbox One S, and then when it came time for me to buy another Xbox, because I needed sad thing is that me and the wife and I use the Xbox pretty much for Netflix, Hulu, that kind of stuff, and then gaming on it once in a while if like a friend comes over or something. But it's not like I'm down in the living room every day like playing Gears of War. And actually it's funny, I brought the Xbox One S up here the other day and I was playing it in this room. So I wasn't even down there. I see the more I play on PC, and the more they kind of get the whole Xbox Play Anywhere worked out, the less need for a console I see. The only console at the moment I see, and this is going to sound super shitty, the only console I can really see having is a PS4 right now, just for the exclusives.
Yeah.
And even that is like, it's funny, my brother just had his graduation 2 weeks ago. First thing he asked me, hey, do you want to sell me your PS4? And I was like, yeah. Like, no question about it, yes. I was like, I don't use my PS4. I don't need the PS4. I was like, if I ever want it back, I'll just buy it back from you. I was like, it's like renting it. I don't even care at this point. He was fine with that. But it's like, there is no purpose for a console in my life right now. Like,
right. That's how it's just for COD for
Yep.
me. That's all it is.
Well, and actually the wife's been it's so sad. The wife, when it's bad when me and the wife go to Best Buy, which by the way, I don't know if you did I post it anywhere? Give me one sec. I'm rolling away. Tons of stuff this week.
Yeah, you got the cooler.
Yeah. I was
Heck
like,
yeah.
I went in there and they were on sale, and so when I buy something on Amazon, the part where, like I have a chance to cancel the order always gets me because I order it and I'm like, fuck, I shouldn't do that, and then I'm just like, yeah, cancel. I'm like, no, cancel it. And then we were at Best Buy the other day, and we actually, my wife is a giant Nikon fan. I'll actually preface with that. We went in there to have her hold the Canon 80D because she didn't she kept telling me she didn't understand why I needed a different camera. And they have the Nikon D3400 there. So I had her pick it up, hold the Nikon D3400, and I was like, that's a hefty camera, right? She's like, yeah, it's a hefty camera. I had her pick up the Canon 80D. She's like, holy shit. She's like, this camera is just like, it feels like a professional camera. She's like, how much is this camera? I'm like, it's like $800, $900, depending on where you get it. Or $1,400 at Best Buy because, they like to fuck ya. Yeah. So, but it, like, just the fact that she was just like, you need this camera. I was like, I don't know if I need that camera, but I'm just showing you that, like, I know the Nikon seems like a nice camera, but it isn't the best camera out there. There are amazing cameras out there for not a ton more money, honestly. And she sat there and played with it. They had some crazy focal length lens on it where it extended out like that far, and she's over there like zooming in and out, and I'm like, all right, whatever. We finally got done playing with the cameras. They didn't have any of the Panasonics for me to play with, by the way, because I really wanted to mess around with the GH5 and the G85. They didn't have them for some reason. All they had was Canon and Nikon, sadly. But finally I was like, let's go look at the coolers. I just want to see how much they are here. I was like, I can't bring myself to order one online, so we'll see how much they are here. And surprisingly, they were on sale. Unluckily for me, because I obviously bought one. So, it's working really good so far. The video is already done. It's not edited, but I'm doing that either tonight, depending on when we end the show, and tomorrow, because I'm kind of short on work tomorrow too. So that'll work great. But it's what was that?
I was gonna say, did you top mount it or front mount it?
I was up till 4 a.m. that night putting it together and taking it back apart and putting it back together because I top mounted it first, and I was like, okay, I know the Enthoo Evolve has very limited airflow in the top, and actually I'm looking at modding it right now and doing I either want to do like slats along the top to let more airflow through, or just completely almost like a mesh texture where it just has holes all over in it. But obviously it would take forever to do because I'd have to do it uniformly so it didn't just look like shit with like holes all over it.
Yeah.
I'll just take it out back and I'll just shoot it with the 30-06, just it's fine. But I wanted to put it up top, see how much airflow it got. And I was like, okay, I'm getting like almost in under load it was lower temps. Idle temps though were like pretty much the same. Maybe a degree or two cooler. I was like, okay, let me run the stress test, Prime 95, and yeah, it was a couple degrees cooler under stress, and it was a little bit more even. Putting it up front, the temps dropped like 10 degrees.
Yeah.
And it is hot right now. Like it is getting hotter every freaking day here. There's one thing I don't like about my new office is the vaulted ceiling is pretty much where the sun shines all day long. So I come in here if I haven't been in here all day, and it is just like sweltering. It smells like balls in here. It's terrible. It's just awful.
You have sheetrock and 4 inches of wood, and then the sun.
Yep. Oh, and don't forget the black shingles, because man, that sure helps. That sure helps. That sure helps. Yeah. Let me tell you.
Yeah, I have that same cooler. It's actually my second one.
Yep, I know.
First one.
Yep.
The pump did not work.
When you say
CPU,
when you say the pump didn't work, so was it just wouldn't turn on at all?
I plugged it all in the same way I have it now. And
yep.
I'm pretty mechanically inclined.
Yeah, no, I gotcha.
And I was like, I thought maybe I had to have the Corsair link downloaded. Like I just thought maybe that's why. And so I made sure it was downloaded and all that. And it just wouldn't turn over. I would just fill the tubes and they were scorching hot.
Really?
So, yeah. And so I was about to just take it back and just return it, but I was like, I'll just try another one. So I exchanged it, or got a new one.
Because I had no problems. The one problem I had, and I know it's something that you're gonna have with any AIO. I didn't like the tubing. That's the only thing. I'm glad that they did do a braided tubing, just because I've seen the ones where it's like the cheap rubber. Yeah, that looks cheap as hell. but the tubes are so, and obviously you've played with it now. They're so stiff. It's like trying to get the block onto the pegs to mount it. You literally almost feel like, holy shit, am I gonna break this thing? Like, am I gonna snap this off?
Yeah. Yeah. I was lucky. I was changing my whole computer around. I got the new case, so I had the motherboard out. I didn't really want to, and I thought it was odd to do it that way, but I put the block on first, outside, and then slipped it in there, and it was a lot easier. To get it.
That's what I actually hated. So, the first time I put it on, I had it all put together, and had like I said, the radiator monitor up top. I was really hoping I could just undo the rad and then just flip it, move it up front. The way that the Enthoo Evolve works is that top, where everything is mounted up top, it's actually a slide out bracket. And honestly, so what I'm going to say is this case is an example of like, and I think Jay actually said it. It's true. When someone that is a designer makes a case, that's what this is what they end up with. It looks amazing. It doesn't function amazing. Versus like a lot of the like fractal design cases where I hate to say that, I don't want to say they don't look good, but I mean they're function over form. Function over form. I hate to say this, if I get a chance, I'll probably switch to a different case, honestly. Yeah. But I'm glad that I got this case because it kind of helped me see really where I need to check for stuff, because like if you don't look for it, you will never see a review of someone's, because air cooling, it works awesome. Right. Air cooling works perfect. You just slap some fans up top, done. That's it. But as soon as you go to like water cooling forums and stuff, which at the time I wasn't looking at because I was like, I'm not water cooling yet. I'm just getting it to prepare for water cooling. There's people doing mods. There's people doing stuff to make the airflow better. And I mean, that's probably what I'm going to end up doing rather than getting a new case. But that's a lot of work to go through just to get a case to work for water cooling. So, I don't know.
Yeah. I'm kind of, like this Corsair Crystal, what's it called? 570X or something is what it's called.
570 Crystal? 560 Crystal? I
think it's 570. I'm pretty sure. But anyway, like where the 3.0, USB 3.0 plug is on the motherboard. Mine is at the bottom of my motherboard, but I think new motherboards are putting them on the side, kind of. And same with the SATA cables. And my issue is, like, it's supposed to be a case that everything is hidden and looks good, but I've got my HD audio running through there and then the 3.0 running through there, and it doesn't look good. It's sitting on top of the power supply shroud.
I'm
not happy with it.
Some of these cases, like for example, the Enthoo Evolve, it has the glass back on it, right? Mm-hmm. And I think so does the the Corsair. Okay, I thought so. Yep. There is no, depending on what you're doing, if you're water cooling, even just doing an AIO, you have so many extra cords that there is no way to get everything like cleanly ran behind. Like nothing is, I mean, unless you spend like hours and hours, nothing is gonna look perfect in there. Right. And that kind of sucks because it's like, it's cool that they incorporated that, but it's also kind of a pain in the ass because I'm like, mine is against the wall. That's probably how it's always going to be because I like having it facing out into the room. So when you walk in, you're like, holy shit, like that's cool. I don't like having it turned so that the only time you see it is when you're sitting at your computer. That kind of seems. Because I have a lot of people come over, and so it's like, yeah. Yep,
I'm the same way. Mine's sitting right here, and it's facing out.
The one thing I did like about the Corsair AIO, by the way, I knew that the cover that lights up, I knew that came off. I knew that came off before I bought it. I did not know that little strip along the side of the radiator, that actually pops off too.
Really?
Which, yep, I had no clue.
Yeah, because they're all made by Antec or something. I don't know the
Asetek.
name.
Asetek.
All the radiators, like most of the AIOs are.
Yep. But you can actually pull that off, and I was like, shit. I'm like, if I can actually decide on a fucking color, I could, because I don't know when the last time you saw I don't know the last time you saw the build was, but it is now orange and purple. Because I changed something the other day, and the wife came in, and she's like, okay, the purple looks really cool. I was like, all right. She's like, but you should leave it orange too. This isn't want to stay now. You piece of shit.
Do you have a motherboard LED hub or whatever they call them?
What are you talking about? Are you talking about the pins on the motherboard?
Yeah.
Yes, I do. I don't have any LED strips yet. I really kind of want to get the NZXT Hue, just because, one, I love NZXT. Two, I've wanted that thing since like literally I had my S340. So, $60. That's like a new game though. That's kind of the thing for lighting, that kind of seems like the very, very far edge of what I'm willing to pay for.
Yeah. I think mine was $8 on Amazon.
Yep. And
it looks fine. I actually bought the Fantex
strip,
not knowing that you have to have a Fantex case to use it. So I ended up buying the $8 kit and then added. So I've got double the amount. As I hooked the I like custom made it all.
You don't actually have to have the. Okay, I don't know. Actually, I lied. I don't know how the Fantex pins are set up, but I don't know when the last time you saw a newer motherboard is, but a lot of them now have the actual pins on the motherboard, and they are universal. You can hook it up to the Fantex cables. You can hook it up to the BitPhoenix cables. You can hook it up to really pretty much anything that has the LED strips. You can hook it up to the onboard pins. We have 4 viewers in here right now, man. Don't scare them away, okay? Shh, just be very quiet, be very still.
Yeah, I think it's called Asus, or is that how you say it? How do you say it?
Asus.
Asus.
That's how I say it. Asus.
I think theirs is called like the Aurora.
Yep.
Board. The MSI has one too.
The Mystic lighting. Yep.
I don't have any of that. Not yet.
The last thing I want to say about it is the only thing that I'm really, really on the fence about is, so the wife has already told me any parts that I want to upgrade, or if I'm buying her something similar to go in her PC to what I have, she's already told me she would rather me upgrade rather than us both have, because when obviously like my RAM is only 2133, the default speed for DDR4, okay? Because when I bought my parts like way back when, I literally went with whatever I could find. They're HyperX. They're nice DDR4 sticks, but they're not like, they don't really match everything else I have in the system. That's probably like the lowest end piece in my system. I've been looking at like the Corsair Vengeance RGB and the G-Skill Trident because I
like the G-Skill.
Well, they're super overclockable. Like they're rated for usually like 3200 speed, and that's like, and it kind of depends on what kind of workflow you're doing too. So, I have been looking at it though. I think that RGB would be like perfect. I think that would kind of be the end of that. I still need to get my last 2 Thermaltake fans, but I would never tell anyone to spend money on lighting when they could spend that money on like performance stuff. But it's like I buy the lighting stuff that is gonna carry over. Like if I had to decide between a lesser performing GPU that didn't have lighting, or that had lighting, or a more expensive one that had lighting but performed, or no, you know what the fuck I'm saying, okay?
Yeah, I got you.
I'm all discombobulated. I've got coffee though, and it's not actually Starbucks. I was like, shit, I need a cup of coffee, and I was like, what do I have to put my coffee in? I was like, well, I have a Starbucks cup. I'll wash this out.
Yeah. Me with mine, I've got this AMD.
What AMD chip do you have, by the way?
I have the FX 8300,
Okay.
and it's overclockable, but
Yep.
I don't have time here lately to sit there and try to get a stable overclock.
I'm going to tell you, go to... really quick. I am considering delidding my 7700K. Like, seriously considering. Like,
Yeah, I had a
I'm-
dream about that. Me
I'm
doing it.
I'm like almost there's Linus literally I was thinking about it. Linus made that video or I don't know if you saw the tweet about him using the
I saw the
$50 the $50 deal. No, actually no, there was a newer video on Twitter, I think it was. It was just like a 30-second video of him using the new tool. You literally just tighten a screw down, it pops the lid off. Done. Like you don't have to use a razor blade. I was like, okay, I might do that. I was like, it's like a $50 tool that you're only going to use once, but it's like it literally is like guaranteed not to ruin your CPU. I'm like,
Yeah, that thing's nice. Have you did you see his new video? I feel like he's not very careful with anything he has.
wait, which video are you talking about?
It came out yesterday, I think, and it was the
The build?
the workstations.
Yep, I
And
saw
he
it.
like smacked something at the very beginning.
Yep.
I
He's
can't
like
remember what it was.
it was his motherboard. He hit the motherboard with I think the graphics card or something. He's like, what was that? And he's like, it's fine. I'm like, all right, it's fine.
And then-
Apparently.
So I think if he can do anything like deleting one, I think that most people probably could.
And well, honestly, okay. Here's the thing: when it involves a razor blade, like what he showed originally, then it gets scary. If you can buy a delidding tool that you literally tighten an Allen key, you tighten it down,
Yeah.
it scooches it just enough that it pops it off. Done. There's no risk. That's it. Then the scariest part becomes actually applying like the thermal grizzly and stuff like that, like that really thin. It's almost like metallic metal. Then that becomes the scariest part because you're like, oh shit, did I put on too much? Like, did I spread it out enough? Like, holy fuck.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Did you use your Corsair thermal compound, or did you switch it over?
I had to switch it over because I moved it. Remember?
Oh yeah.
But what I will say is when I took it off, I was wondering how the spread would be on it. I was wondering if it would, because it looked pretty hardened on there. I should say that it looked kind of like. I know there's thicker thermal paste, and then there's like the not watery, but thinner thermal paste, and that's usually what comes with like the Cooler Master and stuff like that. I need to get some Arctic Silver, but when I took it off, half of it for sure looked like it had spread. The other half still had like the crisscross pattern in it. So I'm like, oh shit! Like how good of contact was this actually making? I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, so now I've been like keeping an eye on my temps. I'm like, all right, let's just make sure nothing fucking blows up. So
Yeah. I had an issue with mine. You know, it's got the AMD bracket on there.
yep.
At first, the first one, it might have been why it stopped working. I could not get the bracket off, and then it said hold it this way. I can't remember how it said. Hold it this way and turn clockwise, and somehow you had to turn it counterclockwise, and it didn't say that.
Yep.
But I read it wrong, I guess. So I was
it-
sitting there twisting it the wrong way, and I was twisting as hard as I could for a little while. But I'm careful.
Oh yeah, careful.
Linus, careful.
Yeah, exactly. No, I honestly, it's kind of once you get to the point where you're like, okay, if I break this, what is the worst thing that's gonna happen? My wife is gonna beat me, and then I'm gonna buy another one. So it's like, okay, just it and if it was delidding just for like 1 or 2 degree difference, I'd say no. But what I've seen is like a lot of times it's like 10 or 15 degree difference to the point where if I'm idling around 27 degrees right now, if that could bring me down even to 20 degrees, I would be so much happier. Because, like, going from, like, the i5 with the Hyper 212 Evo idled around 25-ish, I think. And that was, like, overclocked, okay? I had a really good chip. Like, it was a very, very good chip, which my wife will not appreciate, so I don't know why the fuck I'm giving it to her. But it was a good chip. I didn't have to give it tons of voltage. I got it up to 4.8, I want to say, with minimal voltage added. But when I added voltage, I did have the problem of a little bit of voltage past, like, stock. The temp just shot through the roof. I was like, yep, nope. But at just a tiny bit over stock, I was able to hit 4.8 stable. Wow. So, that took some work though. So, but the AMD CPUs, my FX 6300, I was able to hit 4.6 or 4.7. And that was.
I've got a question here in a second.
Yeah, no, you're good.
What kind of motherboard do you have? I just didn't know if you know the BIOS very well on it. So I might have to have you help me later on.
I had, because I actually got it right here. I don't get rid of gear, man. You should know this. It was a Gigabyte board. I know that. It was the GA78 LMT USB 3. No, it was like a pre-built like motherboard. So like, it is a pretty much OEM motherboard. It's All right, cool. What motherboard do you have? Just wondering.
It's Gigabyte, and it's like a 970A or something.
That is I believe that's a good motherboard. I'm so fucked on like the AM3. Give me 1 sec. Try to get this back on the shelf without like slamming it around too much. All right. I'm so fucked on the AM3 platform. Like I literally know pretty much nothing when it comes to the AMD motherboards because all of my hardware knowledge really started to take place after I started to get onto the Intel platform. Mm-hmm. Like when I got onto the Intel platform, that was kind of when I started to like, okay, like X99, like quad channel memory, that kind of stuff. Like I knew that kind of stuff. I cannot tell you. I believe X370 or Z370, X370, I don't know, is the high end for AMD. I'm with Ryzen. I'm pretty sure it's
right.
Is it Z370? No, it's X370. I'm
positive. It's X on AMD.
Like I said, I should know more about the AMD stuff, but I don't have a chance to really play with it. So yeah it's X370s. Obviously, with Threadripper coming out, they're gonna have. I like how we have all these topics, and we always get off on like a tangent of like we start talking about hardware and computers, and it's just gone. Which I guess this is what that's supposed to be, but you know, it just seems.
Well, I think it's fine. But
it just seems weird because we like spend like 3 hours preparing a doc, like. I just kept. Oh, did you like that? By the way, I just kept like popping in. I was just like, I would log off of the dock, and then I was like, I just remembered something, and I'd get back on, and I'd see you were trying to type stuff, and I'm like, no, fuck you. I'm like, it's my turn, and like I'd type more shit, and then I'm like, okay, I'm gone, and then like 5 minutes later, I'm like, fuck, I remembered something else, and I'd get back on, and then you were trying to type again. I'm like, no, this is mine. Finally, at the very end of it, I just typed down at the bottom of the dock in like 72 font. I was like, you can type now. And then I just got off. I was like, okay, I'm not getting back on.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, I erased it. No, I erased it now But I do want to talk to you about a couple things because I know we're already halfway through the show. Wow, time goes fast. Are you okay with going for like an hour and 10 minutes, somewhere around there?
That's fine.
Okay.
Yep.
I don't know when the wife's gonna be home. So, well, she comes home and I told her I'd recorded. She thought I had already done chip chat for some reason. Not a clue. And she goes, okay, well, cool, because my parents want us to go to dinner tonight. I'm like, I have plans. She's like, I thought you said you already did your stuff. I'm like, no. I'm like, I recorded a video. I was like, I haven't done any of my live stream stuff. She's like, oh, and I'm like, yeah. She's like, it's okay. And I'm like, I mean, I can cancel if you want. She's like, no, it's fine. I'm like, well, you're not gonna be happy either way, okay? I'm like, I'm at least gonna keep my word and do chip chat tonight. I'm like, at least then somebody will be happy. Because I'm like, if I go with you, you're just gonna be ornery with me all night. I'm like, no. I'm like, I'm just gonna stay home. But I do want to ask you about Anthem. This is literally the one game that I really, really need to ask you about. Did you see anything about it? You don't have to watch anything. You don't have to watch anything right now. I'm just gonna ask you a few simple questions. So, when a game is first revealed, they usually show the world to be quite a. My camera is so far over. I think it's. There we go. Yeah. Okay. I'll just have to rearrange my whole setup afterwards. It's whenever, like, for example, The Division. When they first showed The Division, awesome graphics, like, oh, this huge busy world. That's not what it was when it came out.
Yeah.
Destiny, same thing. This huge busy world, like all this different stuff happening. Didn't happen. I would rather a game I don't want to say undersell itself, because I know no game developer is going to be like, we're like the third best game this year. Like, they're like, we are the best. But when so Anthem, the trailer starts out with, or not trailer, I guess it's gameplay actually. Starts out with them standing on the edge of this cliff, and it's almost like, what it gave me the feeling of was, have you ever seen any of like the Uncharted, like a screenshot from Uncharted where you're like looking down over like a huge valley? You never go down there, obviously, you know what I mean? But like it's like wow, look at all that space. Okay, they're standing on this cliff, and he's like, let's go. They jump off the cliff, and they go flying down, and they're like flying over. And the speed at which they're flying, and like how big the world looks in front of them, you're like, okay, there is no possible way that it can be like this big and open. Like, they can't possibly make a world this big. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And like they're flying underwater, they're flying through caves underwater, they're coming up, they're killing enemies, and I'm like, okay. One, I guarantee you the graphics will be downgraded. Two, and I will recite this video in like 5 months when this game comes out, or 4 months, whatever it is, and it's like the biggest flop of all time, and I'll be like, hold on, let's go back to chip chat really quick, because I called that. Whenever they say how big the world is going to be, if it is big, there is nothing in the world, nothing. It is emptiness. Yeah. That is the problem. There is a very wide gap between having a big world and having a full world, and that's the problem. The game that I like to cite as having a big full world is like Grand Theft Auto 5. Or Red Dead Redemption. The Rockstar has always been good at having big. We have 5 viewers. Oh my God, we're gonna die. And if they're not all subscribed, they should go subscribe to us both right now, shouldn't they, Chad? I mean, not that they don't, they have to, but I'm 1 subscriber away from 50, Chad. Don't ruin this for me, okay? One away.
Give him 50.
49. I'm at 49. I can only make so many fake accounts to get my subs higher, okay? I'm running out of emails. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. That would be scuzzy. But it's like, you can't have an open world and say it's the biggest world ever. It doesn't count if I walk down the road in Destiny. You can walk and you're like, there's nothing. Like, there's a couple enemies over here. Like, woohoo. Like, who the fuck gives a who cares? Like, if it's not densely packed, I don't care. Now, they did make it easier on themselves. The zone they showed was like thick jungle. That would obviously be easier to densely pack. All you have to do is have animals. Cringe. Do you see Senior Alpaca in the live chat? What's up, Senior Alpaca? Oh my God. But it's like, a jungle would be a good area to not have to worry about how densely packed you have the like, there doesn't have to be people walking around. All you have to do is have animals roaming around. That's it. So I will give them credit for if they're trying to go for a huge world, if it's all like jungle and like not urban areas, they have made it a little bit easier on themselves because I don't expect. If I'm in a desert, I expect a desert to be empty. If I'm in a jungle, I expect a jungle to be empty, except for like animals and trees.
Yeah.
I'm hoping they don't mess this up because it looks cool. It's basically like, have you ever played Warframe?
No, I haven't.
Have you seen Warframe, where it's like you've got like mech suits, kind of?
I'm not sure. I don't think so.
You're good. No, you're good. It looks like that, but good. The next thing I have. Oh, and that's why I'm wearing this shirt, by the way. So I don't know if you know what this shirt is.
Mm-hmm.
It is that's okay. Agents of Mayhem. Well, first of all, I made this shirt actually.
Oh, okay.
Back when I was in high school, we actually had a graphics design class, and we vinyl printed shirts. And I was like, well, I'm gonna make Saints Row because Saints Row 3 had just came out.
Okay.
I'm wearing it. I'm wearing it because Agents of Mayhem is a new Saints Row game. I haven't watched anything about it. I just know that it has pre-order bonuses already, and it makes me sick to my stomach. But it's a Saints Row game. Have you played any of the Saints Row games?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
Should I look into that?
You should.
Are they? Yeah.
They're funny. No, they're funny. They're funny.
Okay.
Don't get Saints Row 2. Okay. Saints Row 1 and 2 were very serious. Except for their DLCs, they were like, you're a gangster, okay? Mm-hmm. Saints Row 3, you are like, basically you're trying to start like an empire, and it's like, it's hilarious. Like, it is possibly, for me, one of the funniest games that I have played. Funny movies aren't hard to come by, you know what I mean? Funny games, on the other hand, are kind of like a rarity nowadays, in my opinion. You get a lot of serious games. You don't quite get a lot of funny games.
Okay.
Saints Row 4, you're the president of the United States. You get abducted by aliens. I mean, how can you be? And you're stuck in a simulation. You have superpowers. I mean, like, that's the kind of thing these games are. And then the next one that came out was Saints Row Get Out of Hell, and you were literally fighting the devil. Okay, I mean, like, there is no seriousness to these games anymore. It's honestly just great. I would recommend picking up Saints Row 4 if you get a chance, or Saints Row 3, either one. And the cars are really pretty much, you just drift everywhere you go. It's amazing. Next game I have on the list that I want to ask you about is Crackdown 3. Have you played any of the Crackdowns? They're Xbox exclusives.
No. Are they? So are these like, what kind of games are they considered? Like
Crackdown,
adventure, or like?
These are.
I usually play multiplayer games. That's about
these are not. Yep, Saints Row is not multiplayer. Yeah, I understand completely. Mm-hmm. Saints Row is obviously a single player game. It is I guess I'd consider it like a. I guess an adventure game. I don't know. I mean, you stop aliens, man. What the fuck else would I call it? I mean, Crackdown 3 is like a third person. Imagine Gears of War, but you can jump. You're superhuman. You have superpowers. You have tons of guns. Yeah, pretty much. And Terry Crews, yeah. Because he's literally in the commercial, and it's like... okay, guys, in the document, you guys can't obviously see it. I literally have written, Terry Crews could sell even the shittiest product and make it look good, and it's true. The first, I think it's like 30 seconds of the commercial or the trailer is just Terry Crews being like, "Senor Alpaca is watching this on a plane. Are you in a plane or are you on a plane? Because there's a difference. Are you stowing away in the plane?" He's gonna say he's stowing away in the plane. Don't give away what plane you're on, or else they'll catch you. But no, it's like Terry Crews, and he's like, "You're not going to be throwing grenades anymore. You're going to be throwing cars. You're not going to be toppling bad guys. You're going to be toppling buildings." And I'm like, okay, you sold me. Then again, I have been waiting for this game since... Wait, hold on. I can tell you what year. Let me look up. Because right after I beat Crackdown 2, they were like, Crackdown 3, and I was like, oh boy. And that was like, okay, Holy crap. What year was it? Holy crap. July 6th, 2010. Okay. So, I mean, 7 years in the making. It's at the end of this year. So, over 7 years in the making by the time it comes out. That is crazy.
No, that is crazy.
It's
ridiculous.
And they better not let me down. I swear to God, I'll burn down their studio if they do. You know, I mean, I will literally burn the studio down. I don't think you get this. I don't know. It's like they did number one. Number one was good. They did number two. Number two was good, and they added so you could have more players. They added just enough, but they didn't change a whole lot, which was kind of the big complaint from a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because like I put in the document, I'm hoping this isn't like all other games that were overhyped for years just to be shit when they release. I'm really, really. He said I'm in a suitcase, Senior Pack, and then we just dropped. Hold on, we dropped a subscriber, so he said that, and they caught him, so he's gone. we got him caught. Call of Duty multiplayer trailer. We talked kind of about that. You said it kind of looks like they're copying Battlefield.
I mean, it kind of does, but who knows? They actually had gameplay, and it looked awesome.
There's so many first-person shooters now. Honestly, I've stopped being like, oh, this is just a ripoff of insert game name here, because they all look almost exactly the same.
What makes it seem like that to me is that the create a class system is gone now for the most part, and they have like classes like would be called scout and support.
Are you serious? Are you serious?
But it's called like I think scout is called like mountain or something, and it's just like that. And then within those you can choose your weapons out of those, but you can't customize them. And then they have a new game mode called War.
Okay.
Where you start on one side of the map. This is what I get out of it so far. You start on one side of the map in a tank.
This is what I get out of it so far. Wait, so there's vehicles. Wait, so there is vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Wait, are there like actual vehicles?
I think it's got its own. It's like on a train.
Basically.
Okay. It goes on its little route.
Okay.
But so you have to guide it through there and cross a bridge, and the other team's trying to blow up the bridge, which that looks kind of cool, but that can only be cool for so long until it gets boring. But I mean, I think it's going to be better than this past year's COD. But I'm not over COD.
What past year's COD? I don't know what you're talking about. The last COD that came out was Modern Warfare 2. So not a clue what you're talking about, man.
Last COD to you?
Infinite
Warfare.
Yeah, yep. Modern Warfare 2 was the last COD game that I heard about. So I don't know what you're talking about.
I love that game.
No, I like Modern Warfare. I like Modern Warfare 3 too. I guess I couldn't say that. Modern Warfare 3 was really the last. The reason I don't think I enjoy the games anymore is because I don't really have a designated. I do still, but I used to have a designated group of friends that like I said, probably I think it was last Chip Chat actually. We would get on in the morning, play all day, and that that was why I played a lot more multiplayer games. Now a good story is all I want. Like I don't want to sit there and like grind for hours upon hours. Like I used to. Like I used to play Modern Warfare 3 for a very, very, very long time. I played Battlefield 3 for a very, 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 very long amount of time. More time than I probably admit. But it's like when you have that group of friends, and I've seen you playing like H1Z1 and or King of the Hill. And it's like you have that group of friends that you play with. You know what I mean? Like you have people you play with. I still play with my brother. A lot of our friends haven't really switched over to PC. I've got some parts over there that are for someone that I know's PC after the wife's PC.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like it's a surprise, and so I'm having to pretty much get everything myself. So it's like very slow going. Because, like, the wife's PC, I can be like, okay, it's at least in the house. Like, I can justify spending the money on that. I'm not going to spend money on someone's PC that's, like, going somewhere else.
Right. Yeah, I understand.
So the next topic. So you said you did put in here that your CPU's been or your computer's been acting up.
Yep.
Is it like complete freeze or is it?
Well, right before we started this, I was having issues, and I looked at my. I just hit Control Alt Delete and was looking, and my disk was used up. 96% of it was like being used, and Steam was open, and I think Steam was trying to update, and I was just sitting here and I had a blue circle for like 5 minutes.
For some reason, whenever I start my, and that's why I just usually I put my computer to sleep, because when I start my computer, my disk for some reason goes up to about 100%, like you said, every time. Had you just started your computer, or was it like?
Yeah. I shut mine off, but I just started thinking about it. The only reason I was shutting it off was because when I had the first CPU cooler in there, and I would put it to sleep and then start it back up, the pump wouldn't kick on, because it would come on every once in a while.
Yeah.
And then I'd shut the computer down and it'd come on the next time, and then eventually it would stop working. So I've been shutting it down lately, but I might test it out.
I don't want to. Okay, so, and I obviously don't want to talk about this for sure, but usually CPUs have a fail-safe so that when it gets to a certain temperature, it will either A, lock up, or B, just shut down. It will try to keep itself from frying no matter what, unless, and especially if it was, because you had the water block on it, which even though the pump isn't going, that does wick some heat away from it. If I was to take off the H100i right now and then see you later, LOL, I think I am falling off the plane. Bye. All right, see you later, Senior Alpaca. If I was to shut down my computer right now, take off the water block, and then hit the power button, one, I would be a very giant idiot, because you'd hear a pop, and then you would smell the magic blue smoke that everyone loves to talk about. That is because it is, especially with the 7700K, holy shit, that thing would probably burst into flames, It's heating up so rapidly, it doesn't have time for it to safeguard, shut itself down. It will just fry itself pretty much outright and just pretty much pop the chip. When it has the water block on it, it should even not having, because you said the tubes were hot. So it was, like I said, wicking heat away. It just wasn't getting it out of the radiator.
No.
Or I guess it was getting out of the radiator. It just wasn't pumping the water back. Yeah, it just wasn't pumping it through. But I don't think it would be the CPU. But if it started after that, I don't know. That's one thing I will say about PC versus like consoles. When shit breaks on my console, I can at least say fuck you Xbox and like blame them. When shit breaks on your PC, you're like, well fuck, like who do I blame? Like I can go beat the dog, I guess. Like what am I supposed to do now?
Yeah, and that's another reason it's good that they're cheaper, the consoles.
All right, now okay, Senior Alpaca said he legit has to go now. So okay, see you later, Senior Alpaca. You're just trying to get shoutouts. I know your game. Don't play this game. I know it. But yeah, safe flight, and I'll talk to you later. It's like you can never be sure what's wrong with your computer. I mean, I told you about the problem I was having with my Asus motherboard, right? Where it was, if I powered down, I could not power back on until I cycled the power supply.
Really?
What was actually wrong? And I was full on ready to, and that was the Sabertooth, the old one. I was full on ready to actually RMA it to, which would have fixed my problem, by the way, because I didn't know what my problem was. There is a BIOS refresh button, I guess. I believe it just cycles power on the motherboard. So what it had happened was when I had switched out cases between my old S340 and the S340 Elite, the I/O shield had actually been wedged so that button was always depressed, so that when I turned off the computer, it didn't want to power back on. And then I was behind my computer one day and I'm looking and I'm like, because I was pissed. Like I was like, I cannot. I'd gotten the Thermaltake fans right at the same time, and I was like pissed. I was like sure that was it. I was like, son of a bitch. And I was trying to take stuff apart, and I saw the button was depressed, and I was like, oh my god, I'm such an idiot. I was like, are you kidding me? So I did it. I fixed it. Turned the computer on. It worked fine. I was like, oh my god. I was ready to RMA my only motherboard. Like, I would have been without a computer for like 2 weeks. I was like, this is bullshit. Okay, so camera talk now, because I do want to get to lighting talk to ask you what your thoughts on that is as being a live streamer, because we talked about this before. As between a live streamer and someone who makes YouTube content, and I know you make YouTube content too, but like live streaming is like your main thing that you try to focus on. It obviously you have different priorities, and different time schedules, obviously. I'm wondering what your thoughts are on the 4K trend on YouTube right now, like how everyone is going to 4K.
Yeah, I heard someone say a while back that if you have 4K videos, you supposedly will get pushed more to the top of the filter, basically.
That wouldn't surprise me, actually.
I've heard that, and I don't know how true that is, but I thought, like, in my editing software, I thought about upscaling because I can upscale it. It's not going to be 4K.
Yep.
But I could upscale my video 4K.
I mean, you can render it as 4K. It'll say it's 4K. Yeah. It'll just look the same all the way up through the resolutions. Because Linus did it. Linus did, I think it was 4K 60. No, it could, was it 4K 60? He did something. He did something along those lines, and he basically trolled everyone because everyone kept telling him, you've got the FS7, why don't you use it? Like, it does 4K 60. Why don't you do 4K 60? So in his rendering software, he did render a video out as, I believe it was 4K 60. Everyone was like, oh my god, it's so amazing. It was frame rate. That's what it was. It wasn't the resolution. And everyone was like, oh, it's so, look how buttery smooth it is. And then, like, commented down below and, like, pinned his comment, like, GG guys, like, get trolled. Like, this is a 30 FPS video rendered at 60 FPS. Like, and it doesn't add any more frames. So you're watching a 30 FPS video, but seeing that 60 FPS, I have to wonder, and honestly, having a 1440p monitor, most of the time, most YouTube videos just default to 1080p. Either, and I assume if you have a 4K monitor, they probably default to 4K, I would think. But most of the time they default to 1080p. When I click 1440p, I do see everything get a little bit crisper. So I can say that there is something. Yeah. There is something there. I can't say that it's worth getting a 4K camera. But my only thought is, I do want a camera that's more video focused. But the problem is, I don't want to upgrade to something like the Canon 80D, like I've been telling you about, where it's 1080p. So my question was, do you think 4K is worth the cost of the camera? Which, as of right now, the lowest cost, good quality camera that I found that does 4K is the Lumix G7, so from Panasonic. You can get that for like $600. Really? Maybe even less, depending on where you find it.
It's that cheap. I mean, you know what I mean.
I'm sure. Well, I'm sure. Well, I mean, that's like $200 more than I paid for my D3400.
Yeah.
But my question is, I've heard a lot of the 4K sensors they overheat, and my camera gets hot when I record at 1080p. It does get hot. The sensor is getting warm. I've heard of a lot of cameras that are 4K. When you record at 4K, you don't get a ton of time on them before at least the older ones. The newer ones, they've made it so that they don't overheat like that. You can actually shoot full videos in 4K. Obviously, I mean, people are doing it. The reason I put this in the chat in the document was because I got an email this morning from borrowlenses.com they're like, hey, there's a big sale going on. Here's a code for 25% off for used gear. So, like, you know what? I'll go look what used gear they have. They have a GH4, which is a 4K $2,000 camera. Or it's like $1,700 camera, but still, you know what I mean, close enough. It's a used camera because what they do is they rent out the cameras, obviously.
Mhm.
And it is down from that much down to $600, or no, $800. $800? Yeah, $879 plus 25% off. I was like, holy shit. And I told the wife, and she's like, well, do you want to spend that much on a camera? And I'm like, well, it's used. I'm like, but it's so tempting. I'm like, that camera, because
it's a good deal.
well, yeah, because the only other camera that's like around that price that I would want is like the GH5, which there's not a ton of enhancements between the two,
Mm-hmm.
but it would be an upgrade over what I'm using now, and I have thought about it. I'm like, that sweet 4K, that'd be so nice. And like you said, honestly, I have noticed every time I make an improvement to my videos, you do get more viewers.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think a lot of people, when they click on your video and they see that you're using a cell phone to record, like a YouTube video, at least my instant reaction is, I'm like, I don't want to watch this unless it's something that like they're out and about, you know what I mean? And even then, like, I still would want to see better video quality, but like, if I was to just take my cell phone and like set it up against something over there and record my tech videos, I guarantee you I wouldn't even get the views that I get, which aren't many to begin with. But having it be decent quality, having it be look at least 15% professional. Okay, I'll give myself 15%. Okay, it does help. And as someone who, I've seen your live streams, you do work on your setup a lot. You know what I mean? It helps.
Yeah.
When I go into streams and I see people where like there's like a pile of clothes behind them, like their dog is like licking themselves on the floor behind them, and it's like, what in the fuck? Like, okay,
No.
And it's like, really, I don't know if I want to watch this. When you go into someone's stream, like when you stream and they have like a nice clean setup, and it's like this area that they have just strictly for that, it kind of, your first impression is a little bit better, and you are more likely to stick around. I've noticed that
Mm-hmm.
since I've been improving my stuff, every time it doesn't go up a ton, but like watch time does go up. I have been getting less comments though. That's kind of the weird thing. It's like the comments aren't coming in as much.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you use the YouTube Creator app on because I have Android. I don't know what one you use, but it'll actually, well, I believe they have it for iPhone too, but it's actually from YouTube, and it'll tell you like, oh, this month you've gotten more views than you had last month, like keep it up, like, or you've gotten the most comments you've ever had in a month, like this month. It is really cool. But this month it was like, hey, you're down 54 comments from where you were last month, and I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, that's like a lot of comments compared to like where I was last month.
Yeah.
And it just, I am at 50 subs now, so I'm kind of wondering who subbed. I'm kind of wondering if it was, I can go actually look. No, I can't, because whoever did it didn't. I hate that feature. I've told you this. I hate that you can make it so when you subscribe, it doesn't pop up for the creator. I hate that shit. If you subscribe to me, it should tell me that you subscribed. Okay, whatever.
I have mine set up for some. I can't remember how I did it, but it should do it when I get a subscriber and I'm live streaming.
Well, no. Well, when you're live stream, so if you have your subscription set to private, so like when my brother subscribed to me, he had his subscription set to private. So suddenly it popped up, hey, you gained a subscriber. It doesn't say so and so subscribed to you, but when people who, and I can go back through my inbox right now, like for example, on the 11th, like Scary Rage HD has subscribed to you on YouTube. Like SD Gray has subscribed to you on YouTube. Flath has subscribed to you on YouTube. But there was other subscriptions in there that I didn't get a notification about.
No.
And it's like, yeah, it makes it kind of weird because then I'm always like, okay, should I go check my YouTube channel to see if like I actually, yeah, it's weird. Anyways, the last topic, and we are rolling right up on our time limit, which is great. That's perfect. Can you believe we have done 6 chip chats, by the way? Or can you believe there's been, I should say, can you believe there's been 6 chip chats?
Yeah. I think this is it number 3 for me or number 2?
This is number 3. Number 3. Because
Okay.
number 1, I'm pretty sure, number 1 was, number 1 with you was when we couldn't get the camera to work. Number 2, we did get the camera to work. And then obviously this one.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of weird though, because I posted about it on Twitter, like going to my videos, and it feels like I've been doing this for so long. I go to my videos and I scroll down, and like I'm instantly at the bottom of my videos, and I'm like, it feels like I've been doing this for like ever, yet I don't have as much content as I feel like I've made. Like I look and I'm like, it's so weird. Like my, how many, 7th video in, it's like I don't remember that being right at the beginning of my channel, like the what's the best gaming mouse video. Like it's the 7th video I made. I don't remember that being like one of the first videos I made. And then like the best mechanical keyboard, and then like my monitor video was like right after that too. It's like, okay, I don't remember all this stuff being like right at the beginning of my channel.
Yeah.
Anyways, the last topic I have, and it's lighting talk, as you can see. Everyone else can't because we don't share the document with everybody else. That would be hard. I mean, I guess we could like put it out there and just share the link, but that'd be awkward. Make it so everybody can edit it. I feel like that would. I feel like that might turn out bad. You can add pictures, so that would probably be bad.
Yeah.
Probably a lot of penises, but
Oh god.
probably not all human either. That's the other thing. So, editing Friday's videos, so the H100i V2 video, which is kind of like a comparison between that and the Hyper 212 Evo, not really just a review of that. Shooting in different positions in the room, I had slightly different lighting, and like I literally could not add enough blue tint to one part of the video to even it out. It was just terrible. Like it was like, holy shit, like I am a fucking Oompa Loompa. Like I am so orange right now. And I literally maxed I just hit my mic again. I just maxed the temp slider to the blue side of it, and it still just barely brought it back to normal. Like it's bad. So I'm looking, and it is the lighting. And it's also the 2 different lenses. That is why I put up there Camera Talk V2. Chad, if you want to help me out, go request the Sigma 18-35 on Massdrop. Just click request, and then when they get enough requests, they're like, okay, we'll put this product out there so people can buy it. I'm considering making a couple of fake accounts just to request it. Well, because they do stuff like lenses for like half off, and I want this lens so bad. So my 50mm gives me really good color and everything, but I always forget to mess with the settings after I shoot with my kit lens, which is the 17-55, because all the color is so washed out on that lens. When I switched my 50, which I did, suddenly when I record, everything is like super vibrant and like super like, yeah, it looks awful. But I did fix it. It looks decent, okay. But yeah, the lighting I'm using right now is literally like, I mean, that doesn't work forever.
Are those just halogen bulbs or the
No,
LEDs?
no, incandescent bulbs, man. Incandescent
Okay.
bulbs. Just normal. Like, when I started my YouTube channel, I was like, honey, I need better lighting. Because my first video was shot during the day with no more lighting than what was coming through the windows and the light in the room. Like, that was it.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, that makes for really shitty video. So I was like, honey, we have like 2 extra lamps laying around. I'm like, I'm just gonna take these. She's like, you can't take those. I'm like, I want to see you stop me, okay? I'm like, I need better lighting. So I took those.
That's what I got. It's a lamp. It's like a desk lamp, and I put it back behind my screens.
Yep.
And
I've thought about that. But you do, like I said, you do streaming stuff, so that works for you. That's all you need. And if I was gonna stream, when I do like my Prey gameplay and stuff, I turn on my desk lighting and I put it on bright white, so it's just like shining on my face. That works. If I was streaming, that would work awesome. Sadly, I'm turned around and nothing is lighting me up when I'm this way, and usually I do my shooting at like 11 o'clock at night. So I am looking at getting either an LED softbox set, or I really want to get some LED light panels because they are more of a true color like light. The problem is one, if you get a shitty quality, or if it says it's good quality and is shitty quality, I don't know if you've ever seen like the flicker, like a lot of, like if you watch like a keyboard review, how to like flicker on and off because of the refresh rate.
Right.
I don't. What was that?
If you record a monitor, it's going to do that. Oh,
Yep. And I don't want to end up with that. I don't want to go through the headache of that. I want more even lighting. And part of that has to do with me getting a lens that I can shoot everything with, instead of when I have to do something that's close up using my kit lens, when I'm far out using my 50mm. That is why I'm trying to wait for the Sigma to get on Mastrop, because it has the Nikon mount. And they make adapters, so if I end up getting a Canon or the Panasonic Lumix, they make adapters. It won't be quite. It'll be a slight less. It'll be slightly less sharp. If I could speak English today, that would help. It'll be slightly less sharp, but it'll be worth it because that lens is like, it's like an $800 lens, and when it's on Mastrop, it's like $350. I'm like, okay, if this goes on Mastrop, I need it. Like, I already told the wife, I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm taking out another credit card if this goes on Mastrop.
Yeah.
I'm like, no question about it. Just don't ask where the bill came from, okay? Just forget about it.
And I'm gonna get some more lighting soon.
But your lighting, but that's the thing. Your lighting looks good because, one, you have the screen showing on you, and two, like you said, you have your lamp. My problem is these are so hot. Like, literally, just having these on, it makes the computer actually, like, spin up the fans higher than they need to be, just because it is so freaking hot in here. Like, I'm sweating right now, actually.
I have some. They're actually for under, like, kitchen counters or kitchen whatever.
Yep.
But they're like, there were two. I put them in the kitchen and they were too white. So I use them in here every once in a while, and they work. I've got one somewhere. I'll show you later.
Well, there is, now that I'm thinking about it, and I'm not gonna say where I work because that's just asking for trouble, either from my place of work or from people that live around here. We do have these weird shaped lights. I hadn't even thought about it. They're like, so they screw in like a normal bulb, but it's like an LED panel instead of just like a single LED. It's like a panel, and I'm wondering if that would be directional enough that I could like wax paper over the front of it, and like so it's diffused, and use that for a little while, because I mean they'd be like $20 each, if that, and I could just put them in these lamps. If that would work, that'd be awesome. But I do need to look at, because all the lighting kits that I want are like at least like $75. That's like the cheapest possible one. And that's for the like the fluorescent, like non-LED panels. So
yeah, I'm about to have to work on mine because I'm gonna get a green screen, I think.
See, the green screen for Twitch streaming is awesome. I'm not a huge fan of them for when people use them in like YouTube videos. That always weirds me out. You know what I mean? Because it's like, I watch one guy for camera reviews, and like he does like weird stuff with it, like where he'll be sitting there and it like looks like there's like a mall escalator behind him, or like yeah, and it's always so weird because I'm like, it's so distracting. I'm like, just do like a clean background, like do like black. Like if you're gonna use a green screen, just do black. Like, done. I don't know. I'm looking at doing a lot of stuff to just bring like little bits of quality here and there. I can't wait till I get my microphone so I can stop using that goddamn mic lav or the lav mic. Oh, it's so annoying. What was that?
I've also been working on. I made some sound panels over the weekend.
Is that one behind you actually, the black thing?
Yeah, it's I was gonna put 2 up, but I put one right here, so it's not reflect. I made 2, so it's not reflecting my sound back right at me.
I have been thinking that I want to do sound panels actually up on the ceiling, on the vaulted ceiling, so like panels all along that, and then back there, because usually my videos I'm facing that way.
Yeah.
And I think that would help. I just don't know how long we're going to be in this house, and that's why I'm like, I don't want to get everything set up perfect and then be like, fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, I bought the fabric that goes
Yep.
over there
Yep.
for like $8.
Yep.
And I got a bunch.
Dude, anything pretty much, I don't know if you've seen Jay's newer video where he talks about, or not newest video, but one of the newer studio videos where he talks about getting the beadboard. And I've seen the beadboard where it's like $150 for like a sheet of this beadboard. And where I work, we sell stuff exactly like that. And I went and looked, and I can get like a sheet that would work perfectly for like $15. And I'm like, what in the fuck? Like, literally just gaff tape around the edges, done. Like, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes awesome fill light, but I don't have enough room in this room. So we're at the end of our thing. I'm trying to think if I should do anything special for 50 subs. I really am. I just don't know, because I want to, but I don't know quite what I would do. You know what? I'm giving away my computer. There we go. You know how many people, so I have 50 subscribers. I guarantee you by the end of that giveaway, I would probably have about 3,000 subscribers. I'd be like, anybody who's subscribed can enter. And like the next day it'd be like 2,500 subscribers. I'd be like, well, fuck. Well,
Yeah,
this
be.
is awkward. If that happened, I think I'd be like, and cancel the giveaway. No, this is bullshit. I know you weren't all subscribed. I hate it when... See, I can't diss on giveaways, though, because of that. Because it's like, when you do a giveaway, there's going to be people... Like, when I did my giveaway for the Total Warhammer, it was like, I knew I was going to get subscribers. I didn't know I was going to double my subscribers, but...
Yeah.
It's like... It happened. It's going to happen.
Crazy.
It's going to happen.
I just always wanted to have it to where, I'd have, 100 subscribers and I'd get 100 views on a video. That'd be nice.
And see, that's not how it works. Like, I know,
Right.
and I know that's not how it works, obviously. Hold on, here we go. There we go. Go into total relaxation mode. Oh, God. It's just terrifying, just a heads up. Okay. Anyways. Yeah, it's actually really not as relaxed. It is pretty relaxing, but it's kind of terrifying. Honestly, I believe if you have 20% interaction on your videos, it's good. Like, that's like considered really good.
Yeah.
Most of my videos get at least over 5 views. Monday Mashup is obviously the one that kind of drags behind, unless I put a clickbaity title like I think it was my first ever Monday Mashup. Anyways, we are really dragging this out now. So, first of all, I think after the video goes up, or maybe after I finish recording the video, I'm going to talk to Orotsi, I still don't know exactly how to say it. I know they have an affiliate program where every chair you sell, or every chair that's bought using your affiliate link, you get like $10 or something like that.
Oh.
Which is it's awesome. I had another company want me to do that when I first started my channel, because I approached them. I was like, hey, would you be interested in working with me at any point, even for like a loaner chair, you know what I mean, just to get content on my channel. And they were like, no, but you can do the affiliate program. I'm like, I'm not gonna sell a chair that I've never sat in, you know what I mean? Like, that is like the sleaziest thing I've ever heard. Like, I have a little more moral value than like, oh hey, like you should buy this chair so I get money, even though I've never sat in said chair and I don't know if it's crappy. I have sat in this chair and so far, and it's day 2, so I really can't say much, but like the seat is still firm, everything still feels like amazing. The only thing I'm worried about is the same thing that happens with the DX Racers, which is like the clicking and the popping and stuff.
Mine's almost there. It goes side to side pretty too bad. Like I could feel it shifting.
Actually, when I try to go side to side, it actually, the wheels just roll back and forth. But no, I love this chair. Actually, here. This thing is like actually really, really amazing. I did get the gray version because I wasn't gonna get the orange one to match the build. I changed my color scheme so much that I was like, if I get orange, I guarantee you next week I'll be like, and it's blue now, woo! So I was just like, gray, I can keep it forever and never have to worry about it. So, but yeah, you should actually, like I said, it's back on Massdrop. If you are looking for a new chair in the next little bit, or anytime, look on Massdrop first, because I can almost guarantee you they will have some kind of. My mom is calling me. Fantastic. I love the Fitbit, except for when people call me. I'll call her back. We're fine. It's an amazing chair, though. It really is. And I paid for this. I did pay for this. So I can say that. I didn't pay full price for it because I got it off Massdrop, but I did pay for it nonetheless.
Yeah.
So a video about that will be coming up next week. Chad, do you have any content planned? I know you do your once in a while live streams.
I'm gonna start streaming probably. I've been streaming a lot on Twitch. So
dude, if streaming's easier for you, I wouldn't even worry about making videos because it's like that's why when I started this channel, I know I did a couple. Actually, you found me on a live stream. I don't live stream anymore. I tried to live stream the other day. Now my brother's calling me. It's killing me. Okay, I'm gonna get off here. All right. So Chad, live stream whenever you can. All you guys definitely go subscribe to Chad. Definitely subscribe to me, because this is how it works. We need them subs to make it so that we aren't super depressed. I mean, anyways, thank you so much for watching. Chad, do you have any last words?
Nope.
Thanks for watching. Hey, those sounded like last words. Make sure you guys check out both of our channels, and we will see you next week. And we'll talk about which day works best for us, because we didn't do that on stream. So, anyways, see you guys later, and yeah, thanks for watching.